Hello, Dance Studio owner, and welcome to the Transform My Dance Studio podcast. In this special series of podcasts, we are going to throw back to Clint's live events, Dance Studio Makeover Live and Dance Studio Ignite, where we dive in deep into the core pillars of your studio and the ideas that are truly going to transform your studio from a hobby dance school into your area's thriving go-to studio. We hope you enjoy your virtual front row tickets to these live events.
Okay, number one, student generating tool. So this is your IFG, right? Your irresistible free gift. I love this, right? Because our website should be, like I said, about getting new student leads through the door. That's its primary purpose. And if you go onto any type of website, it's fun. When you start kind of getting this concept, go onto any website, go onto your favorite shopping website or whatever it is and just start looking at the layout and how they've designed their site and how they make you click things and where you click, and it's fascinating. And so we want to start applying those principles to our site, because although we're not e-commerce, we're not selling clothes or something, we still want people to take some type of action. We want to build a database. Yeah, never forget that your database, those students, those people that have sent an email inquiring about your service, those people that have left your studio. I always talk about past, present, prospective students when we do our marketing, the 3 Ps. That's what we want to focus on here, is building a database. And how we do that is through creating a lead generating activity. So things have changed. Like, I don't know about you, but I talked about, the newspaper advert. Did anyone do that this year? I always ask.
Do you know why? Because they wouldn't take my editorials unless I spent money with paper. So
generally that's...
I paid for it for years this year and stuff. Paid for an article so I could get a couple of editorials.
And what was the return on investment?
Nothing. But with my editorials, I usually get I always saw that about Boy in the Valley or whatever, but they stopped doing that unless I spent money.
They've made it expensive now too, and no one reads the papers.
No one reads.
Can I just say, we've been doing our local newspapers for I can't remember how long, and I've been arguing with my husband about it probably for the last 4, saying no, we have to keep doing. We do half-page ads in 4 papers, like we spend a lot of money. Finally, I relented and I said, all right, do it. This year I won't do it, and we're going to not get our enrolment numbers on, and we get the biggest enrolment rate we've ever had. And I did not spend $6,000 on advertising.
Good for you.
So don't do it, ladies.
Yeah.
Don't do it.
And the thing, and I've had lots of conversations with clients last year about newspaper advertisements, and I said, the only person that reads them is you and the other studio owners. No one else is looking at them. I'm sorry. Who's in the newspaper? Who's in it? Yeah. And there's no consistency there. Like, we actually know that we need to see something 7 times generally before we take some type of action, right? So when we see that newspaper, it just kind of goes in and out, and we don't, Yeah, exactly. So I'm glad that we've all come to that consensus. But things have changed. Well, I remember when I had my studio, newspapers used to kill it for us. We used to just do a quarter page and slammed. They used to be great, It doesn't work. So the worst thing, though, is continually doing things that don't work, because that's all you've ever done. So that's great that you caved and didn't do a newspaper advert. So the first thing we can look at is invite them to come along to a trial class on you, right? So this is your normal kind of free... Who does some type of free trial at the moment? Hands up. Cool. Don't be ashamed. I mean, free trials do still work. But again, it's the wording that we put around the free trial, Free trial, if anyone signed up for a personal trainer or a gym recently, they overuse free trial like no tomorrow. Free trial, no joining fee, no joining fee, no joining fees, like free trial in the dance world, I feel like, with health clubs. And so what we want to make sure is that we're just wording it in a different way. It can be the same thing. You can get someone in for a class for them to trial it and test it. But I do experience a class on us, or it's like a gift rather than it's free. Yeah, what's the gift? And so this is a great lead capture tool, having that type of thing on your website where it says, experience a class on us in that kind of right-hand side that we saw next to the banner image, where they click a button and they can put in their details to then actually go through your system so that you go, great, we've got an email and contact details from these people, I'm going to call them, is fantastic. I'm going to walk you through that actual process though, because that's where people fall down. The second one is a 1-week unlimited class pass. I know some of our members do that, and it is quite good. I'll tell you why I like a 1 week. The reason I like 1 week is because it's not limited to art class. And what I love is that kids want to do ballet or hip-hop or tap because they've seen it somewhere or a friend does it, but they actually don't know what ballet is going to be like, or what jazz is going to, or what musical theatre is going to be like. So I like to say, you know what, come for a week on us, and during that time you can actually experience what we've got for little Susie's age group. At least then you know she's going to be enrolling in something that's going to be right for her. And then as you go through that process, obviously the idea, you're like, McDonald's, do you want fries with that? Hey, do you want ballet as well? Because we've got this crazy deal on at the moment, whatever it is, or the structure of your fees, and it's just after jazz, so it makes sense. You know, you can go downstairs and get your nails done, or if you've got one of those downstairs or whatever, and build that up. I mean, there's nothing better than getting the kids in and experience everything. It also ingrains them, kind of accelerates the culture process of getting them in for a week, and they might be there one afternoon or 2 afternoons just to check it out. I like that, and so far that's been working really well in terms of being able to get them into multiple classes rather than just like one and then trying, once they've been there for a term or 4 weeks, then trying to get them over into something else. And I'm definitely still into cross-promotion, like with worked with a client last year whose drama classes were really low. And so we did a campaign around getting them from her jazz classes were quite big. We did a campaign over a month in getting them into drama, and it worked really well. She got like 20% more kids in her drama classes over that month. But that again is about how you're structuring that, you know, leaving them with homework after each class so they feel like they have to come back and there's something to work on. Anyway, did someone have a question?
Yeah, sorry, that's a question. I just wanted to ask, I think that's an awesome idea because we've got lots of kids that do like 3, 4, 5, 6 classes a week. But what about the ones that are like the babies, like the 3-year-olds? I mean, we've only got like 1 3-year-old class. There's a few over the week, they're all the same class, just different time slots. So
Yeah, you
could you do something, just do like a preschool pass, or would you do something different for them?
No, you can do a preschool pass. The other thing that you can do is you might give which works really well with preschoolers, is like a 3-week for a certain amount of dollars, and they get like a book or a tutu or something. Yep. So it's a bundle. It's a bundle strategy. Yeah. So you bundle. You say, hey, come for 3 weeks. Why? Because the first week they cry, the second week they vomit, the third week they're fine.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. And so by 3 weeks in, the parents.
Get the parents out.
Oh my God! It's like 3 weeks of yeah, exactly. And so the bundle, because then you're getting money, but it's kind of perceived value as well. Because as soon as if they hand you $1, there's buying there straight away, right? We know those principles is that if you just give someone $1, okay, they'll probably spend some more money with you. You don't want to charge $1 though. You want to charge like $20 or 25, whatever it is. It depends on what area you're in and how much you generally charge. But there's got to be like, maybe it's our, fairy footstep ballet, starter kit or whatever you want to call it, and they come for those 3 weeks. Those kids need a good 3 weeks to. I'm not a fan of the free trial for a preschooler. Yeah, I like a bundle, and that's where a landing page could come in, which we'll talk about as well. Okay, so that's your other option. Your next option is a video training series. Now, this is really new, but I think it's kind of cool. And this is where you might get them to. Oh, so some of you would have got my free video training series that I did for Studio Success Formula. So what you might want to do is a video series where it might teach a number of kind of different exercises. So let's just say you pick 3 of your most popular styles, and the first one might be jazz. And so, for instance, what you would do is you could film a teacher doing a couple of jazz steps, right? And teaching them what you're doing through, and this is really strategic and it's scripted. But what you can actually do is start explaining what your studio's like. This is what we do in jazz, And so it's like a 3-part video series that kind of takes them through the different styles you offer at your studio. And then at the end of that email sequence after a week, there might be an offer. Hey, you know what, you've seen this, we'd love to have you at our studio, come and do X, Y, Z. This is a more in-depth strategy. It's not as accelerated as a free trial or a 1-week free pass, get their details, but it's a great process to build trust and credibility. So I just wanted to plant this because I think things are going to change over the next couple of years. You know, as it always does, the free trial is going to go out and something else is going to come in. And I think what's going to happen with the dance world, especially with studio owners, is we need to become more content marketing driven. So we're going to need to start creating more content like the internet marketing world does. We need to start creating more content, more value up front to get those students in the door, right? It's going to become harder and harder to get those students in the door, but if you're at the forefront of what's happening, you're not going to have a problem. So that's something that's going to, I'm positive, that's going to come in. And a how-to guide. So this is the 4th one, and this might be about, you know, like those new parents, you know, who have no idea what dance is about and they just think it's about lots of money, sequins and 5 nights a week, you know, before they've even started. So you want to give them an idea of like what, you know, a guide to starting dance classes for your child or something like that, right? So come up with a guide to how, we love how-tos, you know, 5 ways to X, Y, Z. And I'm sure you've seen it, weight loss products do it really well. Like if you're ever looking at weight loss on the internet, you'll see that they do the 7 steps to blah, blah, blah. We love numbers. You'll see it in lots of headlines on magazines. Just walk past a magazine stand and look at the headlines. That's what's grabbing people's attention. And so basically what we're doing is we're seeing a problem. So the problem here is that the parent is like scared, got no idea what's going on and needs some education. The solution is, why don't we give them a guide? Why don't we give them 5 ways to X, Y, Z? You know, maybe if it's around a baby ballet classes, you know, 5 ways to, you know, get your child into baby ballet without the tears, you know. Those kind of common concerns that come up, we might create a guide around that. And again, these are just different ideas, and you might have multiple of them on your website, or have one marketing campaign in term 1 or for 4 weeks might be around your preschoolers. Then you might do something around your adult tap class. Then you might do something around your sexy pole dance class, you know. That's true, I didn't make that up for anyone that thought I did. And so there's just a couple of ideas. So let's kind of talk about what kind of happens here. And you can mix and match them. Basically that says you might have a how-to guide with maybe they get the free pass, they come along, you email them a how-to guide. There's multiple versions of how this could possibly work. But that gives you kind of 4 strategies that you can do. So how does it actually process? And so this is really important. So let's just use an example, the 1 week. Let's use the 1 week unlimited class pass for an example, because I like that one. They enter in their contact details. So on your IFG, your irresistible free gift, they put in their contact details, they hit submit. They're then going to go to a thank you page, right? So you all would have seen a thank you page if you've ever opted into anything online. And the thank you page could be a video of you that says, hey there, it's Mr. Clint. Thank you so much for registering for our 1 week unlimited class pass. The next step, well, you're going to get an email from us. And then within 24 hours, you're going to get a call from one of our awesome, friendly, inspiring office staff who, that was a joke, who are going to walk you through how to take advantage of this pass. You know, so it might be a video, you might have some text on that thank you. You know I love video by now, so I do a video of you. That's your thank you page. They're then going to get an email confirmation sent to them that says, hey, Mrs. Smith, because we can put in their details that they've put into the email, so it feels very personal. Hey, Mrs. Smith, thank you so much for registering little Jessie to come along to trial this 1 week class, this 1 week unlimited class pass. Blah, 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 blah. You can, I don't know if you've got like online system that they can book themselves in for. I just prefer a call. I prefer you within 24 hours to pick up the phone and say, hey, Mr. Smith, you know, it's Clint calling from Mr. Clint's Dance School. I'm so happy that you registered. I want to get some more details on Jessie. How old is she? Blah, 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 blah. And you walk through that process with them to get them into class. You put them into that, if we're looking at your enrolment process, you put them into that first kind of tier of they've inquired, and then you take them through the rest of that process of getting them in class, and then essentially enrolling them. This step 4 is if you've given them a guide, you would then say in the email, here's where you can download the guide. So that's kind of step 4. If you would give them 7 steps to making your kid not cry at dance, that's where you would get it. And then for about a week, you want to give them a sequence of emails that builds trust and credibility. So I've opted in for the 1 week, coming along with my little daughter, Susie, to the 1 week unlimited class pass. But life can get in the way and I might not turn up. Don't we know that? Like when someone registers for a free trial and you're like, why did those 5 people not come to that class? And generally it's because you haven't followed up with them enough. But you need to put them on a sequence where there's email follow-up. I've got a couple of our members now that are integrating text into it as well, which is super cool. So where there's a text message like the day before that says, hey, don't forget you're coming to see us tomorrow. You know, Miss Susie. I like Susie. I do use Susie a lot. I've realised today. So you just need to make a decision. Like right now, it's like, okay, what offer do I want to put on my website? How am I going to start building this database and generate new student leads into the studio? We're going to go through Facebook advertising because I know that is, I definitely know that that's a huge place to generate more student leads, and how that can really boost new student enrollments. So pick it. Then you've got to do the technical stuff. Again, you could potentially outsource this. If you've got a guide, like a how-to guide, in terms of where you can host that PDF, you can put it on Amazon S3. This is getting technical, so if it's like going over your head, like it's totally cool, just put it in the bin. Or upload your videos to Vimeo, or YouTube. I like Vimeo basically because there's some more protection around videos. YouTube's like kind of open to everyone. Great to have a YouTube channel though with all of the videos you want everyone to see. But like a thank you video of you going, hey, thank you so much. I mean, you don't want that on YouTube. It's going to be random, right? But on Vimeo, you can have it as a protected. You can do protected on YouTube, but it's really doesn't really work amazingly. Whereas this on Vimeo, you can have it protected and you can have it on a separate page, so only the people on that page can see it, like on your thank you page. So Vimeo is good. The next step for video hosting is called Wistia, W-I-S-T-I-A. And that then allows you to see statistics. How much of a video did they watch? When did they click off the video? Did they did they click the screen on the video? It's amazing. That's a monthly subscription model though. That'll cost you a little bit of money. And then create your email. So you know how I said once they've opted in, once they've put in their details, what's the process, what are the emails that they're going to get for the next week? You need to create those emails, right? Do the emails. 7 days, you've got maybe 4 every couple of days. You want to put a couple of emails in place. And that's just to ensure that they actually turn up to their trial. Because just because they say yes on the phone while they're doing the shopping, getting in their car, screaming at the kid, doesn't mean that they're actually going to come to the trial. Natalie?
Can I just say, with the enrolment inquiries Excel spreadsheet that you provide in the program, my studio implemented that in December last year, so we've done 3 months of it so far. And just looking at how that's worked, our retention rate, once our staff got into the swing of recording everything and doing all those follow-up, has just skyrocketed. Everything initially was dropping through the cracks. Our office has been like a column that things come in and they just slip straight through. But since getting them all on board with that, we've been retaining nearly every single student that's come through for a trial. It's really amazing.
Thank you. And you know what? That's because you've got a system in place now.
Exactly.
And that's the important thing. It's and I always talk about the McDonald's cheeseburger, it always tastes the same, because they've got a system, not that I eat it a lot, but it's because they've got a system in place. And I wish I had time to talk about the enrolment process today, because like for me, people are like, I want more students, more marketing. And then I'm like, whoa, let's take a step back and look at your enrollment, how you enroll people and how you track them through the whole, it's a sales funnel, essentially, how you actually put them through that sales funnel so that they don't slip out. Like you said, the colander where like, it's like leaking. Where's that kid that came like 2 months ago? You know, like those conversations. So I'm really glad it's helped. Awesome. I should just share those with you because I didn't talk about them. So if you want to implement, there we go. If you want to implement like automated emails, which I know some of you probably do already, MailChimp, ActiveCampaign, and SendPepper are great email marketing platforms for you to be able to just automate. So they fill in the form and then they automatically just get all the emails. And you can tag them and track all their contact. It's like heaven. I suggest SendPepper. I mean, that's what I suggest in the program because I've just found that's been most helpful. But MailChimp and also ActiveCampaign are going to help you. Can I just say that it is, some of this stuff's techie, right? Probably sounds pretty techie. But you really do need to start doing something about it. Only because this is where everything's heading. Yeah, we're all online. Like, if I ran this workshop, 5 years ago, I'd probably be using, I was meant to use that actually, I'd probably be using like the whiteboard and the flip chart, and you'd have like booklets and handouts, and you'd all be like, I think a lot of you are notepads, but a lot of you are still, are using tablets and phones and that type of thing. I mean, we know that our parents are like on their phone, they're like doing the eggs in the morning on Facebook, and that's where they are. They're on the lounge. The kid's got the headset on the iPad. The father's out at the pub. The mum's like watching the TV on her iPad, and the other kid's like in their room, on social media, creating and editing videos. I mean, we're so, technology is amazing and it's scary at the same time, but our businesses need to move and evolve with it as well. So if you're looking at this and feeling overwhelmed, awesome. I loved what Kelly said, which was essentially, growth doesn't happen with feeling comfortable. You're not going to be able to move forward staying where you are. And so get uncomfortable, throw you in the pit, scream, throw the computer and the laptop around a little bit, which I know some of you have. And get comfortable with it. Get comfortable with running online marketing campaigns.
We hope you enjoyed this special podcast event. For more information on working with Clint and growing the dance studio of your dreams, please head to www.dancestudioownersassociation.com.